Chapter 2. The Rise of a Queen. On her first day at her new job, all eyes turned as she entered the boardroom. Dressed in confidence, her presence was a declaration. Lily Evans was no longer a woman scorned, but a force to be reckoned with. Ethan's jaw tightened as he saw her. The woman who had once walked in his shadow now stood tall, untouchable. His regret was instantaneous, clawing at him like a beast. "Lily," he murmured when they were alone. "I was a fool. Please give me another chance." She smirked, her eyes void of the warmth he once knew. "You lost that chance the moment you betrayed me." Her talent caught the attention of the company's CEO, Damien Sinclair, a powerful, enigmatic man intrigued by her intellect and resilience. Damien found himself drawn to Lily, not just for her intellect, but for the quiet strength she carried. He observed her in meetings, admiring the way she commanded respect without demanding it. Ethan saw the way Damien looked at Lily, the quiet admiration in his gaze, the unspoken protectiveness in his stance. A different sensation stirred within Ethan, something unfamiliar yet undeniable. He clenched his jaw, jealousy creeping into his veins, as he realized he was no longer the center of Lily's world. Did Damien think he could take what was once his? One evening, he found her alone in the company lounge, staring at the city lights beyond the glass walls. Summoning his courage, he sat beside her. "Lily, I don't mean to pry, but are you okay? You seem distant?" She sighed, her voice laced with exhaustion. "I had a breakup, a bad one. I haven't really moved past it yet." The other night, Lily sat at her desk, rubbing her temples as a headache pounded through her skull. Overworking had taken its toll, and exhaustion weighed heavily on her. Suddenly, a cool sensation spread through her hands. Startled, she looked up to find Damien placing a cup of coffee and a small pack of biscuits beside her. "You need to take breaks, Lily," he said, his voice calm but firm. "Running on empty won't help." Since the last few years, no one had ever brought her anything without her asking. She had always been the one to care, to anticipate someone else's needs, especially Ethan's. And now, this simple act of kindness left her momentarily speechless. She watched as Damien sat beside her, unwrapping a biscuit and sliding it toward her. She took it, and for the first time in a long while, she felt seen. Once the workday ended, Damien offered her a ride home. In the car they talked, and she learned more about him, the man behind the sharp suits and composed demeanor. He was thoughtful, grounded, and kind. Not all men were the same, she realized. Some truly cared. Another evening, as they wrapped up a meeting, Damien noticed her hesitation before leaving. "Need a moment?" he asked. She exhaled. "Just memories. They sneak up sometimes." His gaze softened. "You don't have to go through it alone, Lily." She wanted to say she was fine, that she had handled worse. But as she met his eyes, she saw sincerity, no pity, just quiet understanding. One night he finally confessed. "Lily, I know you've been through hell. I don't expect anything, but I care about you, more than I should." She hesitated. "I had a bad breakup, Damien. I haven't moved past it yet." He nodded, stepping back. "I understand. Take your time. I'll still be here." And he was. Time and time again, he proved that he was different, that he wouldn't betray her. One evening, as Lily walked toward her car, a familiar voice called her name. She turned to see Ethan chasing after her, desperation evident in his eyes. "Lily, please! I made a mistake. I need you back." She tried to walk past him, but he grabbed her wrist, his grip tightening. "You belong with me," he insisted, his voice laced with frustration. Before she could react, another presence intervened. Damien appeared out of nowhere, his fists colliding with Ethan's jaw, sending him staggering backward. "She doesn't owe you anything," Damien growled, stepping protectively in front of Lily. Shaken but grateful, Lily felt an overwhelming sense of safety wash over her. Damien led her away, taking her to his nearby apartment, where he carefully tended to the bruises on her wrist and shoulder. His touch was gentle, his concern genuine. As he wrapped a bandage around her hand, she watched him with a newfound warmth in her heart. Noticing her gaze, he met her eyes. "Still a no?" he asked softly. Lily hesitated, then shook her head. "No. I think I've fallen for you too." A love-filled silence surrounded them, their unspoken emotions finally taking shape in the glow of the city lights. As Ethan watched from the shadows, jealousy clawed at him. The woman he had taken for granted had become someone he could never reach again. Lily, however, had no room for regrets. She had risen from the ashes of heartbreak, stronger, wiser, and